Time to check in with Niagara Falls Mayor Jim Diodati. And good morning, Mayor. Good to see you. What's the situation vaccine-wise, appointment-wise, and supply-wise in Niagara Falls and Niagara in general?
Well, it's going good. On the weekend, they started vaccinating 55 and above at different pharmacies.
Right.
And my neighbor already went down and they had their shots. And so that's a nice thing. So that falls into my category now. So my kids like to remind me, Dad, you're okay now. So,
I thought you were way younger than that.
Yeah. Oh, you're smooth. And I like that shirt and pocket square, by the way. It looks good.
Well, thanks. I knew you were on this morning, so wore my Tuesday best. A story we have this morning, a lot of chief medical officers in hotspot regions are asking for stricter measures in all kinds of areas, one of them being shutting the door on region hopping within Ontario. Now, Niagara Falls is not a hot spot, but is that a concern for you?
Well, yeah, of course. People come here and it's natural. As soon as the weather gets good, people flock to Niagara Falls. Even though all of our regular attractions and major attractions are closed, the hotels are open, and as they are all across the province because they're deemed an essential service. So there's really essentially not a lot to do other than look at the flowers, walk along the trails, look at the falls. So all we ask is if people are going to come down here, wear your mask, keep your distance, don't be the cause of spread from other areas with higher numbers of infections, because our numbers here are pretty reasonable still. We want to keep it that way so that we can all enjoy a really good summer.
Yeah, what was it like on the Easter weekend, on the long weekend?
Busy. Because the weather was so beautiful, and I was doing yard work on the weekend and getting ready with a nice sun, and that just draws flocks of people to Niagara Falls. Because let's think about it, there's not a lot of things they can do. They always come to Niagara Falls when the weather's good. It's free, it's beautiful, you're outside. It's got all the makings of big crowds, but again, it is of concern because some of them aren't wearing their masks, some of them aren't keeping their distance, and it definitely is something that we're concerned about. So we just ask people, be respectful.
Yeah. Niagara Falls, business is hurting everywhere, but Niagara Falls with the tourism industry. But we got to talk about a contest, an initiative that was just launched to help entrepreneurs.
Yeah, so we've got a Win Free Space in our downtown. It's a contest put on by the Downtown Business Improvement Area and our Economic Development Department, where you can win free rent for a year and you can bring your wonderful idea to life. And the nice thing about getting free rent, that's one of your major expenses. It gives you some runway to get your business up and running. So what you do is you fill in the application, you give your reasons and your idea, then you stand or sit in front of a panel of people that'll judge your idea. And if you're successful, you get some free space down on Queen Street. And this is an area that's going to go through a rapid revitalization. As you mentioned last week, we did 15 ribbon cuttings. We've got another 8 coming in the coming weeks. It's the place where the GO train comes to. It's an area that's going to see a lot of redevelopment in the next couple of years. So it's an exciting place to open up a business for the experiential kind of customers that are looking for something unique.
Yeah, so how are businesses, what's the mood like? Are they feeling positive about the rest of the year? Because we had a story this morning, some vacation spots in Western Canada, they're not expecting a big bump this year. So Niagara Falls, how are businesses feeling?
Well, they're very frustrated. The small businesses are just hanging on. This is the third, and this plays as much on their mental health as their financial health, which also, of course, links to their physical health. They're frustrated. Come here, go away. It's been an emotional roller coaster. You're open, you're closed. You're open, you're closed. It is hard to run a business in the best of times. This has given them the challenges like no other time. So it's been hard, but I will say this, resilience is part of our DNA here in Niagara Falls, and I know people have been saving their money, paying off their credit cards, and when the time is right, it's going to snap back like a rubber band. And you look at what's happening in the U.S. now, the home opener for the Blue Jays in Texas sold out. That's the kind of reaction. That's why it's important we get back to a good place, because I really believe it's going to snap back. I think it's going to be fast and furious.
Particularly when that border reopens, whenever that is.
Yeah, and so I know that Congressman Higgins in the U.S. has been pushing very hard. I did some U.S. interviews this weekend as well. They really want to see the border open. Now the U.S.'s numbers are fantastic. They're at 60% where people are fully immunized. They're going in the right direction. They're more anxious to get it open now than us. So I'm just hoping our vaccines catch up real fast, because we need the summer to be good for so many reasons.
And we need the light at the end of that tunnel to get brighter. Hey, thanks for checking in with us, and we'll talk again next week. Niagara Falls Mayor Jim Diodati.